All right, so what you were asked to do on this drill sheet is to create the construct forms based on the absolute forms that you're given here. So let's start with number one. We have susim. So you got to know what gender and number is susim here for the absolute form. Yeah, that's masculine plural, right? So I need to come up with the masculine plural construct. First thing I got to ask myself is the eem ending one of the endings that changes? And the answer is yes, right? Where do my changes come? In the feminine singular, kametz he becomes pathak tav, and masculine plural, eem becomes a, Canadian, right? So this is going to have to become su say. Now, here's the next thing I got to ask. Are there any vowel changes that need to accompany my change of ending here? Because anytime I turn an absolute noun into the construct, it loses its stress. It surrenders its stress to thing two, which means this is no longer accented. So an open propertonic syllable, because when this becomes thing one and it's slapped up next to a thing two, my accent's somewhere over here. This is now open and propertonic. I would normally do what to open propertonic syllables? They reduce the vocal shava. Can I reduce a historically long shurik vowel to a vocal shava? No, they are unchangeable. So I'm done. It's over. Susei is it. Okay? So the horses of so-and-so is Susei David, Susei Moshe, Susei Hamelech. Okay? Now, real quickly, let's just do Susa here. Okay? First thing I got to ask myself, does Susa change the kametz he to anything else in the construct? Yes. What does kametz he become? Pathak tav, right? A becomes at. So we need to change Susa to Susat to say the mare of someone. Now, do I change any vowels? No, because the rest of this is historically long. No change. Okay? Yod. Is there an ending that I can change here? Nope. So if there's no ending to change, then I don't change any endings. What about the vowel? If yod becomes thing one and something else takes the stress on thing two, that's going to be closed and unaccented. Can I leave the long A here? Nope. It has to become what? Short, right? The Kuss rule says closed unaccented syllables require a short vowel. This is going to be closed because the stress is over here. It's unaccented. It's got to be a short A. The long A has to become a pathak. Okay? So, Yad Moshe. Yad Adonai. Yes? It is, but if it's closed, it's still unaccented, even if it's pretonic, right? Yeah. So like I could say Yad Melech. So Melech is the stressed syllable. Yad is right before it. It'll be pretonic, but it'll be closed, and still the Kuss rule applies. Yeah. So it's Yad. Okay? So that's what we're looking to do here. Let's take a look at number 4 here on the drill sheet. We have davar. What does the word davar mean? Word, thing, matter. Okay, good. This is the absolute form. We want to make this the construct form. First thing we need to do is change the ending, if this is an ending that can change. What's my ending on davar? The ending is nothing. So we don't change the ending. But it's going to lose its stress when we make it a construct form, and therefore we're going to see some vowel reductions, okay? So I'm going to put davar in a construct chain. What's going to happen here? The stress will be on thing 2, whatever that is. That means that the var part will be closed but unaccented now, right? Thing 2, thing 1. So that is a cuss syllable. What will have to happen to the kamets here? It's going to become pathak. What's going to happen to the open? And if the stress is on thing 2, it's open and propertonic. What will it do? It will go to vocal shava. So my vowel pointing will be devar, in the construct state. Okay? So how would I say the word of the Lord? With that vowel pointing here. Devar Adonai. How would I say the word of Moses? Devar Moshe. Okay? So normally, davar, long A's, but devar, short, and reductions. Okay, look at devarim, number 5 here. Devarim. We want to say words, but not in the absolute, but we want to make them construct, to say something like the words of the Lord. So what's the eam going to do? First thing is I change endings if they can change. Does eam ever change to make a word construct? Yes. What country does it move to? Canada. That's right. So this becomes Canadian. So the resh will have a sere yod. And what about deva? What will happen to that? Devare. The accent's going to be on thing 2 over here. So this is open and propertonic, right? Tonic, pretonic, propertonic. What will that kamets do? It'll go to vocal shava. And how many vocal shavas are next to each other now? 2. What are we going to do to resolve that? Going to use our Red Ryder BB gun and shoot an eye, and look at what I have left. I have divrei. Divrei. So that's how we would say the words of someone. So how would I say the words of the Lord? Divrei Adonai. How would I say the words of Moses? Divrei Moshe. All right, good. What about Melech? Want to make that construct? Is there an ending to change? Nope. 0 ending, so I don't change the ending. This is a singular noun. Do singular nouns lose their stress in the construct? No. The answer is no. So guess what? The absolute forms in the singular is the same as the construct form in the singular for singular nouns. So how would I say the king of Judah? It would be Melech Yehudah. Okay? And that would be the construct form, Melech Yehudah. The king of Israel, Melech Yisrael. What if I wanted to say the king of the city? Melech Ha'ir. Remember, we're just slapping the nouns side by side. The first one goes in the construct. Sometimes it happens to be identical to the normal absolute form. And Melech is the situation like that. What about Malakim? The masculine plural of a singular noun. Remember, it's committed to first syllable stress in the singular, but the eam and oath endings always pull that stress back to the end. If I want to say the kings of Judah, what will I do? First, I got to change the ending. What does this become? A. It's got to become Canadian, right? So, M-la-he. And then Yehudah, for example, would be thing 2. Can I leave this long A here? No, because if this is thing 1 and some other noun is thing 2, the stress is way over here. This is open and propertonic. What will the kamets of la do? It'll become vocal shava. And now I have 2 vocal shavas. All right. So remember, I can't leave them together, but here's something we learned in the lesson. Singular nouns will get a short vowel here, but it may not always be the Keurig. This one's a pathak. Okay, so I'm going to get one of my short vowels. Pathak is the one Melech gets, so it becomes a malke. Malke. We'll learn about this more in chapter 15. So how would I say the kings of Judah? Malke Yehudah. Not Malachim Yehudah. Malke Yehudah. the kings of Judah. The kings of Israel, Malkei Yisrael. All right, let's take a look at number 8, Bayit. What's Bayit mean? House. And is Bayit a Segulate noun? The answer is no, it's not. It's not, okay? Now, Segulate nouns have first syllable stress, and the word Bayit has first syllable stress, but that does not make it a Segulate noun, okay? And this is a situation where I have a diphthong, though. That's what this is. This is a word with a diphthong, AY. And what happens to my diphthongs when I unstress it and when I put it in the construct? They change, they contract, okay? What does AY become? It becomes A, it becomes Sarayod. So Bayit becomes Beit in the construct. And you always remember Beit Lechem, right? The house of bread, Bethlehem. Bayit, Beit. Okay? So no accent. This is what's different compared to the Segulate noun, right? The Segulate noun will keep its stress in the singular, but the words with diphthongs will lose their stress. Bayit becomes Beit, whatever. Okay, what about Bain? What does Bain mean? Son. And how do I turn Bain into the construct form in the singular? Is there an ending to change? Nope. Will the stress change? Yes, that's right. Is it open or closed? It's closed. So before I make this a construct form, it's closed, but it's tonic, isn't it? Put it in the construct, and it'll be closed, but no longer tonic, which makes it a cuss syllable, right? And in fact, what else do I usually put with Bain to make it construct? I'm going to put him a cave. So Bain, let's say the son of Moses. Bain Moshe. Can I leave the sere here, which is a long vowel? No, the cuss rule, since I've lost my stress, means it's got to go short. So what's a short I-class vowel that I can replace the long I-class sere with? Segol. That's it. Yes. What's the other short I-class vowel that I could see? Kirik. Kirik. Right? Pathak is going to be my short A-class vowel. Kirik and Segol are my short I-class vowels. Okay? And since sere is I-class, I'm going to stay in the I-class. What's that? I'm sorry? Okay, so Ben or Bin. So Ben Moshe, Ben Moshe. All right, look at number 10. I have Banim. Banim. What's Banim? Ah, close. That'd be Shanim. Ah, so this is sons. This is the plural of Bain. Banim. Okay, now, first things first. If I want to put this in the construct state, I check the ending. Can this ending change? Yes. So Banim's going to change to Ban A, Canadian. So the sons of, thing 1, thing 2. All right, and then the stress goes where? This goes to thing 2, which means tonic's going to be over here, pretonic, propertonic, and open. What will the comets do? It reduces to the vocal shavat. Now, is it next to a vocal shavat at this point? It is not, so it can just stay right where it is. So B'nai Yisrael is the sons of Israel. And you will actually see that quite a lot in the Hebrew Bible. B'nai Yisrael. B'nai Yisrael. Yes? It is open and propertonic as well. And here's the question. Can I reduce a historically long vowel to vocal shavat? No, it is unchangeably long, and we cannot reduce it once it's there. That's right. That's a good question. I'm glad you asked it. Okay, now the last one is milchamot. Who remembers what the singular form of milchamot is? Just curious. Mil. Ha. Yeah, where does ot come from? Yeah, it's the feminine plural ending, so the normal feminine singular would be kamate, right? Kamate changes to ot to make it plural. So milchama. And what is a milchama? Oh, that's a machane, but you're close because machane and milchama would be related to each other. It's a battle. That's right. So people set up in their camps and then they go into battle. So they go to the machane and then they have a milchama. Okay? Yeah, hokmah is wisdom. Okay, so this is battles, plural, or wars. Now we want to say something like the battles of Israel. Okay, we want to make it construct. So what would I have to do? First thing, check the ending. Can I change that ending? Does ot change? No, ot stays ot. Yes, the Quaker ending. Quakers never change. Right? Okay, so so the ot stays ot, but will I have stress changes when I put it in the construct state? Yes. So this is going to become thing 1. Something else will be thing 2. The stress will be on thing 2. I can't change this. And this is open and propertonic, though. What's going to happen to it? It's going to reduce, isn't it? Okay, so I'm just going to change this to a good old vocal shava. Is that okay? Is there anything wrong with putting a vocal shava under that chet? Chet. Wait a minute. Well, think about this for a minute. What type of a letter is chet? It's a guttural. What do you know about gutturals? They don't take no dagesh forte from anyone, and they do not take vocal shava. So can I put this vocal shava under chet? No, I got to put what kind of a shava then? Yes, I need the compound shava. So let's do a compound shava. Now, is it going to be an A-class compound shava? Yes. Gutturals prefer A-class vowels, don't they? Now, that's a compound shava. What kind of shava is this one under the lamed? That's silent. Very good. So do I have to change anything? No. Nope, I can have a silent shava followed by a vocal shava. That's okay. And compound shavas are vocal. So we're good. So milchamot. But we do have vowel changing. And so even though the ending doesn't change, the long A becoming a compound shava would be a clue to you that this is in the construct state. And you need to take whatever goes after it as together forming a single unit in your analysis and your translation. Okay? So the battles of Israel, milchamot Yisrael. Not milchamot, milchamot. Okay, any questions about this? All right, very good. Now for chapter 12's homework from Ross, there is a first section, and I asked you to do 1 through 12. So let me just ask, are there any questions about that first section that you want to go through? Any questions at all? The last one? So number 12. Okay, so you were asked to produce the form, the blessing of the fathers, right? The blessing of the fathers. So when we have the blessing of the fathers, we know blessing is going to be thing 1, of the fathers is going to be thing 2, right? So we're going to have to put those together, though. And this is what we came up with, but let's talk about how we came up with it. What is the word for blessing? The normal form, the absolute form. This is one of your new vocabulary words. It's baraka. Okay, good. Now, that form, the lexical form, the absolute, has a kamate. So what's going to have to change on the ending to make it construct? Going to become at, right? A becomes at. So that's one of the things that's going to have to happen. Okay? Now, I would have had then b, ra, kat plus the fathers. But where's the stress going to be in a construct chain? It's going to be on thing 2. So ha'avot, the accent is way over here. So this is the tonic syllable. Pre-tonic, and everything else is propertonic. And when we have a construct chain, we treat this as one long word. So that's propertonic, and open. It's going to have to reduce, isn't it? And what would it become? A vocal shava. And now I have a vocal shava next to another vocal shava. And how do we resolve that? We shoot out an I. So that's where we get birkat. So burakat becomes birkat. Okay? Now, did you have trouble with the second part, or was it just the first one? Okay. So that answers your question. All right. Good. Thank you. Anybody else have a question on this first part? All right. Let me just real quickly drill this with you. We're going to go in reverse. We're going to start with the answer key, and you tell me, what does this mean? Okay. So first one, Beit Hanavi is translated how? The house of the prophet. Now, why am I saying the house? There's no article on Beit. That's right. You never can. So how do I know whether to use the article in English? Where am I looking? How do I know? I always look at thing 2. If thing 2 is definite, then that makes thing 1 definite, right? Good. So the house of the prophet. Ben Ish, or Ben Ish, is a son of a man, or just simply son of man. Good. I could have had a dam as well. Yeshuat ha'am. What's Yeshua? Salvation. Is it definite or indefinite? Look at thing 2. It's definite. So it's the salvation of the people. Good. Shem ha'aretz hazot. Let's see. So this is the name ha'aretz of the earth. Okay. And then hazot. The this. The name of the earth, the this. Now, what does the this modify? Okay. Yes. So because earth is feminine, right? So it would be the name of this earth, or land. Probably land is better. The name of this land. Nesheh HaMelech. Nesheh is the construct of what plural form? Nashim, right? See how it went Canadian on us? So the women, or the wives of Hamelech, the king. Clearly, this is referring to Solomon, isn't it? All right. Divrei HaSefer. What's Divrei? The words. Is it construct? Yes. See the Canadian ending here? So we're going to translate this as the words of HaSefer, the book, or the scroll. The words of the scroll. Yemei Hashanah. So what's that? Yes, this is from Yamim, days. So translate. The days. Why the? Because the article on thing 2. The days of the year. Melech HaKavod. The king of. Yeah, this is the word for glory. So the king of the glory. All right. Avdei Elohim. What is Avdei, the masculine plural construct, for? Yeah, it's Eved, but is it singular or plural? This is plural. So it's Avadim, right? Avadim then becomes Avdei. So translate the servants of God. Good. Avodat ha-avadim. This is from avodah. Good. Is that a construct ending? Yes, if you see at, you should be thinking construct, right? A becomes at. So avodah becomes avodat. And that's what? Work or labor. So it's the work of Ha-avadim, of the servants. Good. And then last, because we already did 12, avi hagibor. Is that a construct form, avi? It is. What's the absolute form of avi? It's just av, right? Good old father, av. So it becomes avi hagibor. So how would I translate that? The father of the warrior. Okay, terrific. Any questions on these translation exercises? And 1 through 10, I think, was all we had for translation work. Yeah, Luke?
Not so much like the question on the translation, but the footnote.
Mm-hmm.
Further explain it.
Yeah, so this is the A footnote here on the accent. Yeah, okay, good. Let's see. This is where we meet with it, right? So this little angled bracket here, right? That is what's called a conjunctive accent. So we've been noticing, like right here, this is the athnak. The athnak is what's called a disjunctive accent. And what that means is that you sort of hold that tone syllable a little bit longer, and it tells you that the word that the athnak is on goes with what precedes, and there's a small sort of break or disjunction between the word with the disjunctive accent and what follows, okay? Conjunctive accents work the opposite way. They tell you to read the word with the conjunctive accent with what follows and less with what comes before, okay? So you will commonly see these on words in a construct because you always read words in a construct with what comes after, right? So conjunctive accents sort of bind words together. Disjunctive accents sort of break them apart from other words for the purposes of chanting, but it often follows the grammar as well, okay? So so when you see this conjunctive accent, it's going to be read, this word's going to be read more closely with the following word, okay? So thank you for asking that because I'd forgotten he'd introduced that to you here. All right. Any other questions about the actual homework?